Hey guys, Reese here and welcome back to my channel. Now, as always, for those of you who don't know me, who are new to the channel, I'm a real estate agent and real estate investor here in Columbus, Ohio. And fun fact, I'm also an avid collector of coffee mugs. So I hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving, and I went home and visited my parents this Thanksgiving. And my mother just so happened to get me a coffee mug for my collection. And this one says, if you can read it, I don't know if it's gonna be backwards, risk taker. So I don't know if I'd describe what I do, investing in real estate, taking risk, maybe taking educated risk, but shout out to my mother. Thank you for the addition to my coffee mug collection. So anyway, I feel like nowadays, and it's been like this for years now, but I can't watch a video on YouTube, I can't browse social media without seeing a plethora of get-rich-quick scheme ads, or maybe not even get-rich-quick, but just these financial ads, focused on how to make money and how to become wealthy. And many of them tend to guarantee that, if you follow their course, you pay, $500 for their course, they'll show you the way to get that money that'll lead to that Lamborghini in your garage here in about a year or so. And I feel like many of you who watch my channel and probably consume a lot of financial content here on YouTube are probably also seeing a lot of those ads as well. And yes, you can make money online. Yes, you can make money wholesaling real estate, probably wholesaling real estate remotely. I've seen courses for that as well. I've never tried it, so I don't know. And yes, you can make money with almost any method as long as you take the time to educate yourself on the topic and have the work ethic to start generating results, right? However, of course, none of these ads reveal the whole truth about what it takes to make money in that industry. And I'm sure most of them don't reveal the truth to actually building long-term wealth. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to share. The truth, the secret per se, to generating real wealth over time. No BS, so please feel free to stick around to the end of the video today, guys. But before we dive right in, I'd love to ask you guys, as always, to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a ton as a small channel, and I really appreciate all the support, guys. So thanks so much. Now, I think many of us have heard the saying that the secret to growing your wealth is, not by working for money, but by having money work for you, right? And what this really boils down to is control. And that's the secret for today's video. I said you had to wait till the end, but you had to wait about 30 seconds. So control is the real secret to growing wealthy. And so the true key to growing wealthy is by gaining control of assets. And that could be any asset. That could be stocks, that could be real estate, which is my field, or it could be businesses you're actively involved in, anything. But gain control of those assets. And while whichever field you choose is personal preference, I've chosen real estate because I believe the returns are better in the stock market, or I can actively make returns better in real estate than I could in the stock market. You can choose anything. And now there are many definitions out there of what an asset actually is. However, in my opinion, an asset is just something that brings you current and future financial benefit. And so, for example, controlling cash in, say, your piggy bank, that's not going to lead to long-term wealth. And that's why we see people who just take their money from a W-2 and save. They don't usually get anywhere, even if they are just penny pinchers, right? And that's because you have control of that money. But in this scenario, that cash is not an asset. Sure, in accounting, you'll see cash as an asset on your balance sheet, but cash in all reality is going down in value due to inflation. And therefore, the longer you hold on to that cash, the less buying power you have. And side note, off topic real quick, this is why it's great to have this long-term debt on rental properties, because as long as you have gradual inflation in the economy, it becomes easier and easier to pay down the debt on your rental properties, because that money is becoming less and less valuable. Anyway, that cash you're hoarding in your piggy bank, that needs to be deployed into a stable asset, whether that's stocks, real estate, buying ownership in a private business, one that's not on the stock exchange. And by deploying that cash, it does two things. One, it helps you gain control of an asset, which is what you need, and it hedges your exposure from inflation. Now, my asset of choice, many of you know who have been following me, is real estate, specifically cash flowing rental property. And the reason for this is my ability to leverage in real estate and gain control, once again, keyword there, of a large asset for a much lower amount of money out of my pocket. The larger the asset I can safely control and continue to remain in control of, the better. So obviously, if you lose control of this asset, for example, real estate through foreclosure, I mean, that's not a good thing, right? You're gonna lose a lot of money. So you need to be able to safely stay in control of these assets like real estate while leveraged. You know, unleveraged real estate is really not that great of an investment. However, that leverage and the ability to buy a much larger asset, like I said, for a smaller down payment is where the real benefit comes in. So for example, you can buy a $100,000 property for only $25,000. And now that property that's $100,000, it goes up, say, 3% a year, annual appreciation. That's about the average. And yes, that's substantially less than, say, the 7 to 10 average in the stock market. However, 3% is $3,000 on $100,000. And that $3,000 on a $25,000 investment is a 12% return on your money only from appreciation, not considering the additional, 6 to 15% from cash flow, from rental income, or the tax benefits, or the principal pay down as well. So that's where the power really comes in. And of course, that's oversimplified because by using leverage, you also have to pay interest on that debt. So the returns are slightly lower due to having to pay that expense. But we're doing overarching topics here. And now a lot of you might be thinking like, oh, well, with control, you gotta have money to make money, right? That's not true. So, something I'm looking into doing right now, I'm learning, hopefully it'll happen soon, but say you can gain control of an asset with other people's money. So other people's money could include a bank, which is, very standard practice in real estate. You buy a house with 25% down. However, you can also raise money from investors. So say, I buy a 20-unit apartment building. I raise the money for the down payment and operating costs and reserves from investors. They might get 70, 80% of the property, but I gain control of that 20% because I found the deal, put together the deal, and continue to manage the deal long term. And so you can gain control of assets without your own money. This is how, Warren Buffett became so rich, and many, many other people, is they leverage investor money and gain control of that investor money to put into good companies that, yes, return to investors. However, you don't become a billionaire in the stock market by plugging away $1,000, once a month. You do so by gaining control of cash and investing that into assets, right? And that's the reason we see, billionaires gain $20 billion in net worth in a matter of 2 weeks. It could never happen if you were just working a job, no matter how much you got paid, right? Take Elon Musk, for example. He gained control of Tesla by creating the company, right? And now that he owns a large portion of stock in the company and has control of that stock, receives the financial reward for that stock, owning that stock, over the course of 1 year, 2020, through the exponential rise of Tesla stock this year, he gained $100 billion in net worth. It's incredible. And of course, this is a very crazy example, but anybody else who had control of Tesla stock during this time could have experienced the same exponential rise and increase in their net worth as well, just by having control. Now, obviously, the easiest asset to begin with and start controlling are stocks. You can buy, through Robinhood with $5 fractional shares. Next up, I'd say, is probably real estate. You can get into real estate with a full-time job and 5% down, or partner with somebody. And then I would probably, in my opinion, say business. Actively starting your own business is probably the next one. But that could vary. That could vary for people. Real estate and business could be switched. And so what you can take away from this video is that you need to learn everything you can about assets and specifically, assets you want to gain control of. So you want to be a stock market investor, you need to learn everything you can about stocks. Real estate investor, everything you can about real estate so you can efficiently gain control of these assets, large amounts of them, and over time grow wealthy through holding and having control of these assets. In addition, last point I'll make before we close it out, the government rewards, people who hold assets. I'm not taxed on gains from real estate that I can access through a cash out refinance, or I can roll gains into another property through a 1031 exchange. Stocks are taxed less, capital gains are taxed less than earned income, things like that. So very beneficial to gain control of assets and make money that way. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that was helpful. I really appreciate all your support. Go ahead once again and leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.